Now, if you're undecided between the brand new Galaxy Buds 2 Pro as they compare to the Buds Pro, first generation, or even the Buds 2, then you're going to want to watch this video, because today we're going to do a audio comparison, call quality comparison, back to back. And these were all tested with the latest firmware, same phone, same volume levels. And you know what? You're going to be surprised, because one of these comes on top, and it's not the Buds 2 Pro. Let's check it out. Now, as we're looking at the cases and the earbuds, you're going to notice that the design language is pretty much the same with all of these, but things have gotten much smaller. So as you take a look at, here is our brand new Buds Pro. Here is the previous generation. You can see that it is significantly larger, even though it doesn't seem by much. I'm telling you, the fit of these, you can see the difference, and we're gonna put these on in a second. As we take a look at here the Buds 2, closer to the Buds 2, right? As you see that right there, a little bit closer, but still, again, very noticeable in size difference. So I'm just gonna wear one in one ear, right? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this other one, the Buds Pro, in. And as soon as I put these in, I can tell the difference from a feel perspective, just the overall feel. But we'll turn to the right and turn to the left. Now, Samsung did a real nice job with the Buds, especially in the last generations, where they do feel kind of flush more. Again, but you can see this one gets a little bit deeper, and then it feels a little bit tighter sealed than this one is. This one's a little bit larger. So we'll go ahead and put this guy back, and then we're going to grab this one right here, which is also really similar. Now, this is a very comfortable, I want to say, between the Buds Pro and then the Buds 2 that we now have on. I find that they're more similar when it comes to the actual fit, but I can still tell that the weight on the new one is a little bit lighter when it comes to at least the way it feels in my ear. So that's what the differences would look like. Still my preference, not because it's new, but I do think that the Buds 2 Pro feel better.
Crazy when I shut my feelings out. You look at me like I'm different. Still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments. Doesn't mean I don't need you. I fell in love with your colors. They kinda tell me what I'm thinking. When I shut my feelings out, you look at me like I'm different. Still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments. Doesn't mean I don't need you. I fell in love with your colors. They kinda tell me what I'm You look at me like I'm crazy. When I shut my feelings out, you look at me like I'm different. Still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments. Doesn't mean I don't need you. I fell in love with your colors.
Next, we're going to do a call quality test of the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2 Pro in a quiet environment. If you take a look at our decibel readings, anywhere between 26 and 27 decibels of noise. It's going to switch.
Now, this is what the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2 Pro sound like in a quiet environment. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now, this is what the Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro sound like in a quiet environment. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now, this is what the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2 would sound like in a quiet environment. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Next, let's add some wind to the environment. Now, this is what the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2 Pro sound like with wind in the environment. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now, this is what the Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro will sound like with wind in the environment. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now, this is what the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2 would sound like with wind in the environment. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test.
Now we're adding some noise to the environment. As you can see here, our decibel readings are anywhere between 40 all the way up to almost 75, 77 decibels of noise. What we're going to do is we're going to switch. We're going to stay quiet to see how much noise is being canceled, and then we'll continue with the audio test. Let's go ahead and switch.
Now, this is what the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2 Pro sound like in a noisy environment. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now, this is what the Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro sound like in a noisy environment. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now, this is what the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2 would sound like in a noisy environment. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now, if you're wondering what the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2 Pro would sound like with an infant crying in the background, this is what they're going to sound like with an infant crying in the background. Now, if you're wondering what the Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro would sound like with an infant crying in the background, well, this is what they sound like with an infant crying in the background. We're continuing our test with the Galaxy Buds 2, but this time with an infant crying in the background. This is what they sound like with an infant crying in the background. Now, if you're wondering what they sound like with a dog barking in the background, this is what they sound like with a dog barking in the background. Now, if you're wondering what they sound like with a dog barking in the background, this is what they sound like with a dog barking in the background. Now, if you're wondering what they would sound like with a dog barking in the background, this is what they're going to sound like with a dog barking in the background. If you're curious about what they sound like with a doorbell ringing, this is what they're going to sound like if the doorbell was ringing. If you're wondering what they would sound like with a doorbell ringing, this is what they're going to sound like with a doorbell ringing in the background. Now, if you're wondering what they would sound like with a doorbell ringing in the background, this is what they're going to sound like with a doorbell ringing.
So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.